So the first point is, what is the reason why ESR has been introduced in the UAE and elsewhere? So there are some other countries where the ESR regulations are applicable, including the BVI. Recently they have been added in Bahrain, then Cayman Island. Various countries are there where ESR regulations have been introduced. Now let me tell you as to why these regulations were necessary and why they were introduced. So to do this, let me show you an example. Suppose there is a company in Poland, and that company in Poland is supplying some goods to a company in Netherlands. Assuming the sales were worth 100 and the cost of goods sold was 80, the Poland company actually made a profit of 20, and it was supposed to pay taxes on 20. But what generally, or many multinationals, I would not say generally, but what many multinationals used to do was that they used to incorporate a subsidiary in some other country where, let's say for example, they incorporated a subsidiary in UAE and they sold goods to such subsidiary not at 100 but at a lower value. So let's say for example, if I have to tell you numerically, for example, this company sold the goods at 90 to the UAE subsidiary, the cost of goods was 80, and therefore the Poland company actually paid taxes on 10 in Poland. Now from a Polish perspective, if you see, they've lost tax on 10 rupees, which is the difference between the 20, the amount on which they would have received taxes at that point in time, versus compared to the taxes that they are getting now, which is on 10. In turn, what this M&A group might do is that the UAE subsidiary may actually sell these goods at 100 to the Netherlands company, and since its cost of acquisition is 90 being the purchase price, it would pay taxes on 10 in the UAE. But given that in UAE the taxes are not there, it would not pay any taxes on this 10, neither in Poland nor in the UAE. Now if you look at it from a UAE perspective, even UAE did not get any revenue out of this transaction, but the multinational was something which was able to save taxes. And therefore, these regulations were introduced by way of Economic Substance Regulations, and UAE has also implemented these regulations. If you're actually doing genuine business, if you're having people who are doing the relevant activity, then these regulations should not bother you. It's a matter of compliance. But people who have been actually saving taxes by not having economic substance have two choices. Either you have economic substance in the UAE, or there will be consequences which are defined in the ESR regulations against such companies. So if I look at how has the development taken place in the UAE in the last 1 year, the first thing that happened was that in April 2019, the UAE cabinet had issued the Economic Substance Regulations with immediate effect. Thereafter, from time to time, to enable the people to comply with these guidelines, there have been clarification, guidance, and frequently asked questions which have been introduced to provide clarification to the people who are actually doing these activities. So insofar as the further developments are concerned, the relevant authorities who were supposed to take care of various activities. So just to give you a brief example, there are 9 activities which are covered for economic substance regulation. For each of these activities, there is a defined relevant authority to whom the company needs to do the necessary filings in terms of the notification or report. Who those entities are going to be, who those authorities are going to be, that is something which was defined in September 2019. In September 2019 again, there was further guidance which was provided as to how the regulations are going to apply to various businesses. And in January 2020, there are various FAQs, frequently asked questions, on the ESR regulations that have been issued. These questions actually answer a large number of questions, and for the purpose of this presentation, we have incorporated all the FAQs wherever necessary to explain and bring to you the complete knowledge about ESR as it stands today.